Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's another day of conversation before the show that all of a sudden it's like we should go live.
Oh, whoops.
Kelly, how you doing?
I am great. I love your intro. I love the smiles and the kindness. I love it. It's so true. It's free and it's cool.
The funny thing about it is I was saying that years ago, and it's just been consistent over time. It's just been, once in a while you see those Facebook posts that come up, from 6 years ago or whatever it happens to be. And same thing, same message. And it's like, just have to carry it on. Just keep it going. Until somebody listens. Somebody pays attention.
No, and it's starting to become like a thing now, right? People are like, but that's really cool, right? Because that's what you're doing. It's like this butterfly effect. You put something out, right? You do something nice for someone, and that person does something nice. It's like this whole, you smile, feels good.
Yeah. Changes your whole day, your whole outlook. It's like you say, hustle, stay and humble, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's when I go to bed, something that I do that's important for me to practice is I smile. And I think about all of the things. And if it's something that was like worrying me, I smile thinking about what I find something good in it. And I smile thinking about, if I miss someone, like last night I was thinking I missed someone and then I was like, you know what, let's turn this around and smile about like the memories I had. And so that's what I did. I smiled. It's so weird, but it does. It helps. Yeah.
That and gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude makes a huge impact on what's going on in your world.
It does.
Yeah. So Kelly, thank you for coming back as a pirate and doing a pirate broadcast. So what have you been up to? What is bringing you joy? I know that you have an active group on LinkedIn that is making an impact in the world and doing some great stuff. So give us an update on what's happening in the world of Kelly.
Lots. Do you know when I was on last? I don't know if you keep track of that.
I should look it up, but
a year ago though.
Yeah, it was like a year ago. Absolutely.
Okay. So I have a community that I started that I love that you are part of, Russ. Thank you. It's called My Lab, my virtual advisory board. And it's just a community of amazing entrepreneurs. And I just had kicked it off about a year ago, but some really great things have happened from it. And it's evolved over time. It's different than what I thought. I thought it was going to be this.
You thought you were going to run it.
I just thought it was different. I thought it was going to be this online community where like everything was online. But what I found out was it is online, but it turned into, I have events and all kinds of things that I'm doing that's bringing entrepreneurs together. And we've had 3 or 4 folks that came in. So it's entrepreneurs and senior executives. And we've had 3 or 4 senior executives that have come in and have decided to start their own business. And it's not just because of my VAB, but it's also, they see that people are doing this and they can do it and they have support and they have, people, like just people to there. Because when you're
things off of.
Yeah. When you're an entrepreneur, you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Sometimes
and I do.
Right. You feel like you're like just on an island by yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, what's really fascinating to me, and I struggle with this, and I'm going to be transparent, because I have been doing the solo gig thing, for well over a decade. And it's not my first trip. I've been in and out of corporate organizations and large businesses and employer relationship. And what I have a big challenge with is not being able to do the work as much as being able to delegate the work. And so having and seeing other people do that and growing their business from a solopreneur to an entrepreneur is another step in the evolution, right? And it's not always easy. So having help and having some feedback and having some, at least a roadmap, is really
Yeah,
important as well.
it is. And so I was lucky enough to run a company for someone else. So she was the entrepreneur, and I was able to run the company, so we grew it massively. And so lucky enough for me, I had to learn how to let go.
Yeah.
Because when you have 40 some recruiters and 30 some clients, you have to. So I learned how to delegate and how to build a support team and duplicate some of my duties and things like that, which is really important to growing business. So when I started my own business, one of the things that was really important to me, well, there are a couple things, but one was to try to duplicate myself as quickly as I could. And the other was to make sure that I'm spending money, investing. I believe you have to invest.
Reinvest.
You have to. You have to continue to invest. You have to spend money to make money. I just believe that.
Yeah.
So those were two things that were really important to me. So I was lucky enough to have that experience before where I understood the value of it. And I was able to take the risk of letting go, which is scary. It's scary.
Well, some of us like to just get it done, just go roll up your sleeves and get it done, right? Take action.
Call that gumption. So that's our first value. Our values are grit and grace. And the first G in grit is gumption.
Yeah.
And it stands for we get shit done.
Get shit done.
We get
Absolutely.
shit done. Yeah.
So you started this group board. A lot of people setting great examples, a lot of people taking initiative, a lot of people contributing. So what was the thing that you saw that was really a game changer for you over the last year?
I think seeing entrepreneurs or executives become entrepreneurs is amazing.
Yeah.
And them feeling supported is great. The other thing is there are people that are doing business with each other now, which is really nice. And I have some testimonials that I'll put up soon. I love to see the camaraderie in that way. People are supportive. And I've made sure not to pick people that kind of do the same thing, because you don't want that. I don't want it to become like a whole sales show. But the other thing is I have, the events that we do every month are called the MyVab Connect. And we have someone speak. So it could be a member or a board member, or it could be an external participant, and they come and speak. And those are really well attended. And that's just like anything about entrepreneurship that we can share. And then there's some networking. So I've just seen, because of COVID too, there's a lot of people that they know how to do Zoom. They're comfortable now with the videos and they don't mind doing that. So I've seen them come together, but what's fascinating is they're coming together from all over the nation and even the world.
Yeah.
That, to me, even aside of MyVab, like push that aside. For me, COVID has really enabled me to get on LinkedIn even more so. And I was doing it before COVID, but I really people are now receptive to. I have friends all over the world. I was talking to my friend. I was talking to a group of Australians last night at 9 p.m.
It's amazing. It continues to be amazing. And the relationships that you've built and you've grown and continue to run into is just phenomenal, in my opinion. And the one challenge that I know I run up against, because I know you're busy as well, is just feeling like you have enough time to dedicate to those relationships and those communications and those connections and stepping onto a live stream like this, and thank you so much for being here, because it does take time, and it's really satisfying to me to have those connections and watch people grow and support them in a way that maybe wouldn't have 10 years ago. You know, it's not the same thing. And I just think we're living in the most amazing time because of it. And the opportunities are just endless, in my opinion.
So this is your platform, and this is a way for you to stay connected. So we're spending time together now. So, you know, you're spending time with me, you're learning about me, but I'm not learning enough about you. So we need to figure that out. But because I know what the show is, it's not like, you know, it's a give and take. But my platform, which is great, is the MyVab community.
Yeah.
So when I want to reach out to someone, I don't have to go through an email and I don't have to go through LinkedIn anymore. I can message you there and it feels more direct.
Yeah.
The other thing is video, because we have video now, for me, when you talk to someone, it feels more, and it's better than the phone.
Yeah.
It's not as good as
better than the phone.
Yeah. It's not as good as in person.
No.
But it saves a lot of time.
It does save a lot of time.
I'm going to keep doing Zoom. Like I'm not into the coffees where, except for there's some like really near and dear friends that I have that I'll go see for a long time, but I'm not, you know, this is easier.
Yes, much easier. And I don't have to drive across town and be in traffic for an hour.
Especially where you are. That's right. Yeah.
Well, when I was in Houston, there were times where I would be sitting in traffic forever.
Yeah.
And sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. And it's crazy. So I want to say hi to a few people here. Juan, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. And then we got Sharma. Smile changing your whole day. I like that. A genuine one like you and mine, yours and mine. Absolutely. Warren is in the house making the choice. Absolutely, positively making the choice. Robert, coffee with Bob. So good morning, Russ and Kelly. Thank you so much. Gratitude is so important. Just posted on that this morning. Fantastic. Good morning, all in my side of the world. It's 1930. So it's evening there. And Kelly's last show was June 23rd, 2020.
Thanks, Tracy.
Tracy, I love you. Thank you so much for being my producer. Thank you. All good morning. Angie, thank you so much. Glad you could catch the show. Hope you're well. Love that you're here. And then can you clarify making you duplicate, Kelly?
I could clarify. So do you see Nicole Goddard under there?
Nicole, yes. Good morning, Nicole.
She's my duplicate. She's my partner. So what I did was, about a year after starting the business, I realized that I needed to go from solopreneur to entrepreneur. You need support. And so what I did was I thought, you know what, I really need a partner. And this is a good way to recruit a really strong person, give them a little bit of ownership over a piece of the services, over, the entity, and let them kind of learn, train, and run with it and grow into an executive role. So Nicole, I had worked with before. A lot of my people I had worked with before. And Nicole I had worked with before. And so COVID hit. She got laid off from her corporate recruiting job. And I said, I really need someone to come in. And when I hired her, Russ, I said to her, you're not working, so maybe I might have 10 or 20 hours. Boom, literally 1 week, we exploded. And now she's like, now we're hiring. Now she's got recruiters, like a whole group of recruiters. So that's it. It's duplicating so that I can go out and grow, which includes all the marketing and this, and then also run the business.
Yeah.
That's the duplication.
Yeah. Well, Tracy has been asking to grow, and she's been looking to have me delegate more stuff. And I'm working on that as we speak, and working on duplication. And growth. So there's a couple of pieces of the puzzle I need to fill in, and it's fun. It's amazing. It's a challenge. You know, you have to work through it, and it's something that you have to do in order to scale and grow. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my goal is I want to produce with the Pirate Syndicate. I want to be producing by the end of the year 100 shows a month. So that's
Okay.
my target.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Wow.
well, think of it. If I train producers to produce shows like this,
Yes. Right.
because this has been, I mean, I've produced, and Tracy has produced over 400 shows of the Pirate Broadcast, and the system to get on the show is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the process is pretty straightforward. And so there's a lot of business owners, like you say, that are comfortable with video now. They need to get their message out, and they need to scale. So what better way than to have your own platform and your own show where you can actually share some knowledge,
I love
introduce
that.
people that you want to talk to anyway, invite them onto the show is a lot different than saying, hey, let's get on a sales call for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to say, hey, let's jump on a show. I want to interview you.
I love it.
And then so training, you know, several producers to produce shows and have Tracy run the operations on that would be wonderful.
So what does a program look like for you, Russ?
What is a program?
What does that program, like, how would someone enroll in that program and get trained and get up and running?
It's pretty straightforward. We engage, you sign up for it. It's $2,000 a month. It's $500 an episode for 4 episodes, a weekly episode. We do the social media posts for the show. We promote the show. We build the strategy, help you identify your look, your feel, your branding, all of the things that are included in that process. And then we set it up for you. We get you on a regular basis. We start inviting your guests, or you invite your guests, and then we build the show out, and we continue to grow that. And slowly we build up. And then we have, as a result, you have the video feed, you have an audio that can go to your podcast, and then you just start building the authority in the market as a result of showing up every week. And you've seen it time and time again on LinkedIn Live. You know, people that get LinkedIn Live, they're just showing up, they're doing their show, and you may not get thousands of people on your live show. However, the conversations that you start and the relationships you build and the people that show up and look at it and show up later on, it just continues to build on itself. So
I love that. So it's you're basically giving them a platform to have a show, and you're doing all the marketing for them. And it goes to everywhere, right? LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all of that.
Well, if they don't have LinkedIn Live, we have to work around that. We could show up on YouTube, we could show up on Facebook, we could show up on Twitter, we could show up on Twitch, we can show up on a number of platforms.
Yeah.
And we can get you there. So the reality is that you kind of have to start somewhere. However, the beautiful thing about it is, just like you this morning, you just came to the microphone, you turned on your camera, you turned on your lights, you turned on whatever you needed to be, you filled up your coffee, and all of a sudden you have a show. Everything else is done for you.
And if you saw what I look like 15 minutes before, ask Nicole. She's seen the 5-minute transition. She's like, how'd you do that? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Magic. It's magic.
This is what I'm telling you. This is why I like at home. I don't have to worry about anything from here down. I love that idea. I think it's brilliant. So yeah, the LinkedIn Live, they have to have their own because you can't use someone else's. I get it.
Well, you can, and I have. I think that LinkedIn, once you start creating content, I think LinkedIn Live will become available to more people. You just have to have something out there that is producing results, and you know, you have to have some evidence that you're going to be consistent. That's what LinkedIn's looking for. Somebody that's going to be consistent.
Well, and it's much easier now to get it. It used to be when you got it, and you know, Ira, some of those first people,
Yeah.
it was hard for them. It wasn't easy. Some people have had to apply multiple times. And now I think it's a bit easier if you have if you have a concept, like you said, if you have a concept and you've got some people that, you know, will engage and have some things out there. So you can also help them apply for LinkedIn by giving them pointers.
Yeah.
And helping them develop the concept.
And the goal, going back to your original question, how would I do 100 shows, is I can help with the strategy, and then I hand it over to Tracy, and Tracy delegates it to the producers and navigates through that whole operational piece, which she's so good at. And so, like you said, you need to work on the marketing and running the business, and Nicole is the duplicate, right?
You should have Nicole on your show. Should have her, and she can tell you about what it's like to be that person that's, you know.
I like it.
I won't watch because there might be some curse words or some.
Damn Kelly, she's always driving me. So Nicole, I'll send you a link.
Connect. Yeah, I hope she's still on, but yeah, she's busy. So it was nice to see her jump on there to support. Yeah, she's a great gal.
So Howard Kaufman, appreciate the insights. Yes, you do feel that you are Gilligan sometimes on a deserted island. Yes. Where's the professor? I don't know. Where's the professor? Sherry Lawley says, love to see smiling pirate faces in the morning while I fill orders. I love it. Shamara. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate that. Kelly says Tracy is amazing. Yes, I totally agree. Nicole says intention. She smiles. Oh my gosh, thank you. So
she's on. Yeah, she's listening.
Yeah, join us. Connect, and I'll send you a link. So, but it's a simple process. It's a simple process. And Kelly, like, you know, you just have to put yourself out there sometimes, even when you may not necessarily feel like it. You may not necessarily want to do it at that point in time. However, I've done over 400 shows, 400 episodes, and talked to some amazing, incredible people. And I have more incredible people on the way. And I just think it's a way that others can be inspired by people like yourself. You know, I want to shine the light on you guys and the people that are doing great work. So
yeah,
thank you for being here.
Yeah, I love, first of all, you're one of those people, I think I've told you this before, that you make me smile. Like there's a couple people that I see that just make me smile. Like they make me happy. Michael Ray. Do you know Michael Ray?
Yeah, Michael Ray. Absolutely. He's a pirate as well.
Just looking at him.
Yeah.
Just looking at him. The other night I called him on the phone and he like FaceTimes me because he needs to see. And I'm like, I'm sitting on the couch, you know, and he's having like his bourbon and his cigar. It was really cute. But like someone like him, I look like crap. But he made me feel, and I was
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Immediately better. You, Alone Zybert. There's just some people that just like, I don't know what it is. It's that like, it's, you know, Alone Zybert. I don't know if you know him, but it's like, he has this.
I don't know if I do.
He has a phrase. Oh, you would love him, Russ.
Yeah.
Introduce us. Yeah, I will. So he has a phrase that he's trademarked called emotional relevance. And it's exactly what I just said. It's the feeling that you connect to the person that when you think about them. So like if I think about him, I smile, and because it's very intentional on his part. He does sales, right? So he teaches salespeople how to create relationships and how to make people feel like, oh, Russ, it's Russ Johns. Like, you see what I mean? It's like when you think of Michael Ray, you smile.
Yeah, exactly.
Emotional relevance. Isn't that interesting? He's great. I'm going to
fascinating.
give an intro. You'll love him.
Yes, yes. We'll have to have him on the Pirate broadcast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's a great dude. You'll enjoy him.
fantastic. Wendy's here. What a fun pirate convo. Thank you for joining the ship, Kelly. Welcome. Thank you so much. Nicole says, I've never heard the thought of creating a duplicate until Kelly mentioned it, and it makes so much sense. Now we're working to duplicate me and duplicate that person and so forth.
That's right.
It's one of the terms in my toolbox. Also good to hear that someone wants to duplicate you. So it motivates you. Absolutely motivates me. The beautiful thing about it is that we have an opportunity to share the body of knowledge that we've acquired over years of experience, and it's not all good experience. So sometimes the worst experience is the best teacher. And so if we can accelerate that education and impart that to someone else that can grow and achieve results from it, why not? What's the downside? There's not a downside.
There isn't. I'm just writing down to do an intro to Alone for you, Russ. But so the wisdom is what you learn, right? It's learning through experience, and that's good and bad, right? And you have the wisdom. It's from doing. It's from learning. My company's name is Pana Knows. Pana is a Pali Sanskrit. It's like an Indian Sanskrit language, and it means wisdom, which means learning through experience. So that's how I've built this company, is very customer friendly. So I don't have this little box that we say, here's what we have to offer. You want it or don't want it. You're going to fit in here. Yeah. I say, what do you need? Let me figure out a solution. Let me see if we can do that, and then give them some options and work with them. So through my experience, I've learned you can't, you can offer this little box, but you're going to get a lot more no's.
Yeah. Yeah. And like anything, if you follow all the gurus out there and all the knowledge out work, all the courses that you can go through, one's going to have an opinion that's 180 degrees out of the other one. Yeah. So I think what it really boils down to, and this is what I teach people in the courses of, podcasting and broadcasting and building a show, is you got to find your groove. You got to find what's comfortable for you, and then stay in that groove. And it's practice. It's like an instrument, it's like a musical instrument. Continue to practice and just continue to improve. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be perfect. Starting is the most important piece of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. Taking action is the most important piece of the puzzle, not perfection. If you get stuck on, it's not quite here, I need to move this pixel over here, it's always a stumbling block, and you just need to let it go and move forward and get it done. So
people I hear a lot say, I want to start my own business. I'm just, I'm getting everything in line. I'm getting my ducks in a row, and I need this and I need that and I need this. And I'm like, no, you don't. Just go, because it's going to change anyway. One foot in front of the other. Just keep going. It's going to change. You're going to need to be agile and adjust.
Yeah.
Look what Wendy says. Wendy says, turning a bad lesson into a blessing.
I love that.
It says it only requires changing a few letters. In other words, that's so funny. This is very few steps. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's great, Wendy.
I love that. Blessing.
That's true. Yeah. You've got to learn from everything. You've got to.
Nicole says, 100%. I've learned more from my bumps in the road than the smooth experiences.
That's right.
We learn them. It's a hard lesson at the time. However, it's a long experience because we know it well.
Yeah.
Kelly, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you. You bring me joy, and I love your energy, and I love the things that you're doing in the group. You got an event coming up. Tell us that before we wrap up today.
Yep. So My Vibe. So the event is called My Vibe. The group is My Vibe, but we're calling it the My Vibe. And Vibe is virtual inspiration from badass entrepreneurs. And if you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see I'm working out the kinks of defining badass every day. So it's been really fun. But it's a group of amazing entrepreneurs. Many people that, Russ, you probably know many of them. Alone is one. Rachel Beck, Michael Ray, Jared Greer, who's phenomenal. He's a coach for Nicole and I. Scotty Schindler, who's a coach of mine as well. It's a great group. So what I have is, it's a block of time. Tickets are free, and I can post after the fact. I'll post the link to register. Tickets are free. It's a 5-hour block of time, so it's not something you're going to sit and watch. It's not like you're going to an event. It's something to have on in the background. And when you see a face pop up that you think, oh, I want to hear, then you watch. So you just keep it on in the background. It's not something I'm expecting everyone to sit like for 5 hours, right? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm hosting that with my buddy Alex Sheridan. It's going to be phenomenal, and I hope that people will register and come. We are 60% capacity.
And when is it?
It's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah. So
I believe that's the 12th, isn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's 11 to 4 Eastern, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. So Scotty Schindler's in Australia. It's 1 o'clock his time. So he's going to go at 1 o'clock in the morning. So he's going to go first so that he can go to sleep. It'll be fun, though. I hope everyone can join us. I think it'll be interesting, and tickets are going fast. So sign up if you'd like to.
Fantastic. I really appreciate that. Kelly, as always, introductions, sharing, growing, accomplishing big goals, and smiling is always important.
That's right. Thank you, Russ. This is great.
Fun. Always fun.
Always.
And thank you, everyone, for showing up and being here. If you're watching this in the future, please like, comment, and share with anybody that needs to know this information, needs to have this information, could benefit from this information. So do that social thing that we all have to do in order to be seen, be heard, and be talked about. And also because kindness is cool and smiles are free. So you enjoy the day. Till next time, take care.
Bye. Thanks, Russ.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate.